One.
Olympics. The Olympics.
First of all,
Usually,
no, I'm cutting you off. I love the Olympics. You
yeah.
did a rant on the Olympics with Dwayne Rollins, and now they're back, and I think about you. I think about you, Mark. And I friggin' love the Olympics, man. I love them so much.
Yeah, no, it's one of those where you just sit down in your house,
All day.
channel 8, and then you're like watching this and volleyball, and
Yeah.
I'm like, why can't you spike? I'm like this
Yeah.
expert at everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I was mad yesterday. I'm like, kick to the wall faster. And then swimming, like, so amazing. And the best is like, we're totally off top. I don't give a shit. But like, the Maggie McNeil, she wins.
Yeah.
She can't even see because of her glasses. She's like, I think I did something good. So amazing. Like, I love her even more.
Yeah, I was in a pool the other day, and I was like kind of pretending I was the. So I was like from one end of the pool to the other. I did as fast as I could. Every time I turn for a breath, I swallow water. How do they do it without swallowing water? I don't get it.
Turn on the wall? Did you do the wall turn?
Oh, I would drown if I tried. I would end up pushing towards the bottom or something and never surface.
What did you do in your pool though? You got to the end and you touched it and then you just turned around?
Yeah, like I touch it and then I spring off like a mermaid, like as fast as I can. Yeah.
Have you ever tried to do the breaststroke where you're like, I drown when I do it?
Yeah, every time I used to race someone in my pool, like butterfly or anything, halfway through I'm in a front crawl. You just abandon the stupid stroke thing that you can't do and you just front crawl. Yeah. Anyway, so Olympics.
Yeah.
I've never been so pumped about an Olympics with this women's team here.
Yeah, true.
Maybe it's because our show, like we've been so connected with this women's team for like a year leading up to this, but I live every kick. I'm awake at like 4 a.m. It's ridiculous. It's just,
you know what? It's true. It's a very likable team. It's also a transitioning team, and I find that intriguing just as a coach and a soccer geek. And I think you nailed it because of the show. We had to chat with Janine Becky, who's just an amazing person, and then Vanessa Gilles, who's just like my local Ottawa legend right now. And like, if she doesn't get on the field, I'm going to go to Bev Priestman's house and I'm going to like drown her in her pool or something. Like I need her to play. Like she deserves to get on the field, man.
She does deserve to get on the field.
Yeah.
So we'll run through the 2 games real quick. And the first one, Japan, like left me with 74 emotions, especially with it's the talking point everywhere with Labe. Just gutted for her. You're gutted. You see her, she's in tears, she's hurt, she's crushed, and she makes that save, and then it's like you're like your mind's blown, and then 3 minutes later she's out and back in tears, and you're like, holy, I can't take this. If this is what it's going to be like, I might end up in the hospital.
That was an Olympic moment.
It really was. That's a great call. You win.
I win. I'm Brian Williams on CBC right now, or wherever they used to do it. And I'm with you. It like affected my gut. Like my gut was like ready to throw up, and then she saved it, and like every Canadian Maple Leaf pride in my body came out, and I was like, yeah. Like I was so proud of her. I'm so happy for her to have that moment. And and then I was gutted again when they scored, But what a good team Japan is, like World Cup champs not too long ago. Great program. This group is a group of death if there ever was one. And it's a good result. They're gonna have a work to do still because they didn't finish it off, but it's a good result. It was a good result.
So the lineup was similar. I think we pretty much nailed this.
A good result. Just in case
okay. You scared me. I thought my mic wasn't working.
I just kept saying good result too many times.
So it was Labe, Chapman on the left, Sadorsky, Buchanan, Lawrence. The midfield 3 that we knew: Scott, Fleming, Quinn, Becky and Prince out wide, and Sinclair up front. And I loved it on our last our Olympic preview show where Sinclair, I don't know, she's up front like 4 minutes in, she scores, and I'm like, that's why she's Christine Sinclair. It's not the friendlies or the build up or she didn't play well. It's the big moments. There's only room for big players, and it's big moments.
Like without a doubt, like I'm with you. I felt a bit guilty, and she's playing so much better too than what she was in the lead up, and maybe she was hurt and stuff, whatever. Just like you said, who cares? Now it's the big moment. and she's a big moment player. Like she is. This is a terrible question, but she wasn't our flag bearer, right?
No,
Is she?
should have
She
been.
should be in the way out.
Yeah, if she's
Although,
not, something's wrong. Yeah,
well, generally they give. I think a lot of times they give it to whoever's the most
gold
medals and
medal.
stuff.
Yeah,
But I think she should be it, or she should have been it. I think she's just like. There's not a lot of Canadians that are world class in soccer ever, and
yeah,
she's the epitome of world class. And
yeah,
she just needs a statue somewhere in
yeah,
Ottawa and
for
in
sure.
every city. She's just, that's what her career has been. And she's a good person. She's just very humble and, very
Yeah.
like typical Canadian, which makes me like her even more. And I'm with you. Like, just, I felt bad um, saying that I maybe wouldn't start her. Like, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, but that's you know what, you make a great point. She wasn't the flag bearer. Maybe they chose somebody that was great in their sport right now, but we're talking about somebody who could be the best ever of all time in the history of women's soccer,
Yeah.
leading Canada
Yeah.
in the Olympics, and
Yeah.
she's not holding the flag.
Well,
That's
it's
weird.
kind of
That's a
like,
whole
then
other
you could make the
debate.
whole other argument as a soccer fan that she's the best female athlete we maybe have ever had.
Yeah,
So like, or you could put it on par and get into the arguments of who achieved higher in their sport, and how can you argue with what she's done?
nothing.
Even outside, maybe she didn't won a World Cup, but two bronze in the Olympics with Canada, and like, she's on a level that not many reach.
Yeah, no, agreed, agreed. So that's that. Now I'll throw this to you as a coach because I found this, and I think I said it, might have said it to my son or to someone, anybody who was listening on my couch during the game. When you score that early, sometimes it's not good, and it's a weird thing to say
Yeah, totally.
because then you kind of naturally fall into, I don't know, but you're the coach, so I'll throw it to you. Like sometimes it's not good.
No, it's just one of those cliche things that are true. England scored so fast and were just insane.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of the game, Italy totally dominated them. And you fall into a shell naturally, even if you're not told to. You sit back, you relax a bit. I don't know, like you're more cautious instead of adventurous. It's like when announcers all say a 2-0 lead and all that kind of stuff. It's true. These things are
Yeah,
just true. And if I had the solution to it, I'd be Jose Mourinho or somebody, but I don't. And
yeah.
it's true. It's just sometimes it's not a good thing, which is such a strange thing to say.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're like,
So
if
weird.
anyone asks you, do you want to start the game up 1-0? Of course.
Yeah.
But then when you score early, you're like, crap. Is this too,
Yeah.
like it's a weird feeling,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was one of those things that happened to Canada here, and they gave up a late goal, and like you said though, good result. I mean, it's against a good team. It's our first game. It is what it is, and that's how it happened. I want to say when they made a few subs. Quinn came out. Becky kind of came in the middle. I know you called it like I think 5 or 6 months ago, where Becky has a 10 and she was brilliant when she came in the middle. Like I don't know, I don't know. Maybe you discovered something here.
All I thought of, like, it's a horrible comparison because it's putting it way too high, but just kind of like when Pep moved Messi from the wing. He was always wing early
Yeah,
and he put him, and then he scored like 60 goals. It's not that she's messy. That's way too high of a compliment. She's fantastic, but just getting her on the ball a little more. I find sometimes when she's wide, she's not on the ball as much.
yeah,
And I think she has to be on the ball more. She's
yeah,
too creative. She has a great shot. So if she's in and around the 18, she can get more strikes at goal. So I like it. But I
yeah,
think you've got Sinclair there at this point, right? So she's got to fit where
yeah,
she is.
yeah. But it's like you said, and she's not the prototypical winger where she can take people on 1v1 only and cross in this. Her passing is, I mean, she's splitting defenders and she's like different level. I never,
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't not believe in her in that way, but
Until
wow, she's becoming something of a, like you said, Chuck Messi inside, and now we've got a whole new player.
I like kind of, especially last game, how the sort of their little diamond works now. It's a bit like almost Liverpool-esque in a way. That's like a weird compare, but the fact that Sinclair's dropping deeper like Firmino, and now your wingers are making those runs like a Mane and Salah, and I felt the two of them made those runs, and then Becky's in between the 18s making that run as opposed to out wide. And that's how she got her goal and was tucked in the box to get her first goal. So It
Yeah.
seems to work. It's neat. I love that Priestman's done it. I hope it continues. I want to say I think Nichelle Prince has been really, really good.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed watching her in the last little bit. She's always been a good player, but I think she's in a really good form right now.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I'll switch over to the Chile game because you brought up Becky's goals there. So in the Chile game, it was a 2-1 win. Not super convincing, to be honest, it was one of those nervy games all the way to the end, but I'll just run through it. Sheridan played in goal because Labbé, I don't know how long she's out. I hope she's not out long term, but she's out. And we had Lawrence shift over to left back, Zadorsky, Buchanan, and Riviere on the right. Quinn got dropped or rested. I don't know what it is at this point, but Grosso came in for her first start with Scott and Fleming, Becky, Prince, and Sinclair. So not too many changes, but I'll talk about this because it would have been so stupid and annoying and bothersome. So I'll bring it up here. Janine Becky missed that penalty in the World Cup, blah, blah, blah. Everyone talked about it. So now when she stepped up to this, everybody was thinking the same thing. She was thinking the same thing, and she missed. Now, question for you, or comment to you and comment on this. There is not a more mentally strong human being in the world than Janine Becky, because most people miss that second one, fold. She goes out, scores 2 goals, mentally strong. Me, next penalty, I better see her step at the spot because she has to go and just score it. Because it's funny. I'll throw you as a coach. If you're a coach, next penalty, what do?
She's not taking it.
No,
I'm the opposite of you. Yeah. I agree with everything you said except letting her take a third consecutive penalty.
What if she says to you before the game, I want this penalty?
Sorry, I already gave it to so-and-so.
But what if you didn't give it to so-and-so?
Then I go tell them that I already gave it to them. I swear to God. I swear to God. Like, I had one of my players on my youth team just miss 2, and he's fantastic. I love him. I have confidence in him, just like Becky, and I think he'll score. I gave it to someone else. It's a thing, and it's not the time for her now to break her thing in the Olympics. It's time for her to do it against like Panama in a friendly. She had her chance to break her thing in the last game, and she didn't break it. To me, put Sinclair back on it. Sorry.
What if you're in the knockout rounds and it's a shootout? Is she one of the 5?
I have to, because I don't know them well enough, like Priestman, of course, but who takes it for them? Like this was a question someone wrote on Twitter, women's soccer or whatever, and I thought it was a great question. Like, who's the third person that takes it right now? Who do you give it to? Ashley Lawrence? Fleming? Like, Fleming strikes a good ball. If she just gets up there and whacks it with some of her power, that like, she scores from outside the box, like she can hit it. So maybe it's her. Who else? I don't know who else.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who
exactly.
else. Prince, maybe Zadorsky. I could see her taking one.
Zadorsky, I could see she can hit a ball well.
Yeah.
So I think in a shootout, yes, I would let her be part of it. A one-off penalty, extra time in the quarters, Sinclair. And why doesn't Sinclair take it? Have we ever figured that out?
No, I maybe she's just not comfortable taking penalties.
But she used to. She used to take them.
I think so. Yeah, I don't know. It's a strange one, but I mean, I think when we had Janine on, Sinclair asked her, right? It's like, and I saw
that's what happened.
So I guess she's the penalty taker. I'm curious to see what happens if there is a penalty against Great Britain. Like, what happened?
13th minute, and someone goes down the box, and we have a penalty to go 1-0 up against Great Britain. Be honest. You don't just say it because you want to emphasize your point about her being strong. You give it to Becky.
I talked to her before the game. If there's a penalty, do you want it? If she says yes, 100% she's on it. That's what I do.
The way you deliver that is so hard to go the other way. It's so hard to go against you. Now I want to cuddle you and Janine in a 3-way cuddle, and we talk about the penalty. But I would say no.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not an easy call, because somebody of like her mental strength and anybody's mental strength that's a professional athlete in these Olympics will say yes. It'd be tough because you're at your coach, then you're showing a bit of, like,
yeah, but Sinclair said no.
That's true. Good point
You
there.
know? Like, and we talked to Nicky
Yeah.
Law, and like those two guys backed out, and all of a sudden he was taking the penalty. So it obviously happens. I was talking to like some of the old timers to say, I'd like to know what happened in the England camp. Maybe those guys weren't actually meant to take a penalty or a penalty that soon, and someone else backed out. Like, we'll never really know for a while. So
That's
you
true.
just don't know what's going to happen in those situations, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. What I loved was Riviere at right back.
Yeah.
I think she's of that quality where I think we talked about it before, but maybe it's time to push Lawrence into midfield to really get our center midfield strong, because Riviere, it's like that's hers now. Right back is hers. Don't want to play Lawrence on the left and kind of, it's that whole championship manager thing where she goes orange because she's out of position a little bit. Chapman's good enough. Let's get Lawrence in the midfield. I don't know.
Tough, but then who do you drop in the midfield? I thought it was tough on Quinn to get dropped, to be honest. I'm a big Quinn fan. I think they are so solid and crisp on the ball and can bring things to the table that others can't. So who do you drop then? Do you drop Fleming?
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. It's one of those tough decisions and tough problems to have, but
I agree with you. Riviere is a solid player.
Yeah, because it's like, who do you drop now, Riviere or Chapman? Both are good. It's like somebody's going to be disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. It's a weird one, but
so what do we need to go through?
I think it's pretty much done, because there's best third place teams that go through, and we have 4 points.
Okay.
But I mean, it's obviously key we need to win this to avoid all the US's of the world. And even though the US got smoked their first game, that was fantastic.
Which I would agree was fantastic. And Sweden looked like they could play football, soccer better than US were athletes. They reduced them to that sort of thing. But is it like scoring in the first minute? Like US got beaten their first game when it doesn't mean anything. Now they're ticked off. No. That's what scared me.
Probably what it is. Yeah.
It's like now they're woken up.
Yeah, just got to beat this Great Britain to avoid. I think it's Netherlands too are amazing. Netherlands and US, you want to avoid those two.
Netherlands are so good. I love watching them play.
Yeah, so that's my other point here is in that Chile game, we only made 2 subs. And that's my job as a fan and I did it for the men's team as well. I'm like, get Eustachio off. It's the second we're up 2 goals, get him off. And I was screaming, get Sinclair off, get, all these. But I guess you can't risk it at 2-1, can you? Would you have done it at 2-1?
I'm going to sound like a homer, but I really don't think it's a homer comment. I think she's proven herself. I think you get Jill's in as an extra defender for extra minutes, and you know how reliable she is. She's done it against better teams than excuse me, Chile, much better. I say get her in. Even if you're putting a third center back and you don't sub one of the center backs, I think get her some minutes, be solid, and rest somebody. Take Sinclair out, leave 2 up top, throw a 5th in, play 5-3-2, and see out the game. So yes, I think they should have made some more subs for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, when Chile hit the bar, and I don't know, I was stressed out. I still think, and it's not controversial, but I still think our best lineup for Canada is a 3-5-2 situation with Gilles, with the 3 center backs we have, put Lawrence on one side and put Chapman on the other, or Riviere, whichever. But I think that is what makes us ours, especially, what am I, 7? Yeah. Especially against the big teams like the US. We proved it in the She Believes Cup. I don't know if we played 3. I think we played 3 at the back, or no. Maybe not. No, because we can't.
But I agree with you. I would like to see her toying with 3. I think she came in, did her formation, stuck with it. I can't necessarily disagree. But I agree with you. I think you've got 3 center backs at a really high level. I think then you get Lawrence more involved attacking wise. You almost free her up to not have as much defensive responsibility. So I really love that lineup.
Yeah. So I hope maybe now's the time to try it against Great Britain, where it's not a make or break, but it is important.
I don't think it is. I think you had to do it before the tournament.
So you can't. Like if we play the US in the semis,
it's gutsy because Gareth Southgate did it and got criticized, but Gareth Southgate is also previously used both formations, and I think he got, as usual, because I love him, unfairly criticized for that kind of thing. He changed back and forth. They were used to it. These girls aren't used to it, so it's asking a lot.
Yeah, it is.
If she does it, would it succeed? It could, and then she looks even smarter. But I think unless she's been working on it as well in training, but I don't know. I feel like she's stuck with her. Let's get this down.
Yeah, maybe I'm just trying to fit Jill in somehow. Just
But like that's why I say it's a homer comment, but it's not. Like,
yeah,
proven how good she is. She's proven she can play at that level. To me, she's proven she's potentially one of your best 11. You want to get your best 11 in. That's the thing with Lawrence. She's one of our best 11, and you want to put her in there. It's not like she's not got a home, but she kind of, in a sense, doesn't have a home because where can you get the most out of her?
Yeah, it's not easy. But so that we got tomorrow. So it's Monday today. Is it Monday?
Tomorrow, yeah, tomorrow 7 a.m.
Tomorrow 7 a.m. Great Britain. That's going to be an absolute battle. I mean, it's Priestman's former. She worked there. It's her home country. We beat them in that friendly last time too, which was now,
it was
not a friendly.
Yeah. And now they add like Carolyn Weir and some of the Scots that are there. Like, it's a strong, deep team, man.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, but it would be nice to pull off that win or a result. I mean, I think they're ahead of us on goal difference, so we have to win the group. So
yeah,
not on goal difference. No, they're ahead of us by 2 points. Anyway, yeah, it's a big one. Tune in tomorrow, 7 a.m. If you need to PVR it, you're going to have to PVR probably like 6 hours of Olympics before that. That drives me nuts. So anyway, 7 a.m. Set your alarm. Watch the women play, and let's see what can happen. Let's see if they go 3 at the back. Let's see if Bev Priestman is listening to this YouTube video.
Yeah, or come on, Bev, get Jill's in, get her in her Olympic moment, frig.
Yeah, so that's that. Go Canada.
Hold on. I just ruined your ending, but knowing Vanessa, like, her Olympic moment will be like a flying, diving header into someone's foot on the goal line to save a goal for us to, like, that's what it'll be. And then I'll be like, yeah,
exactly. That's the kind of players we have, and she is, and I'm hoping she needs to get in before the Olympics are over.
Yes,
you have to. Even here, before we even end it, I'll say this to you as a coach. You have a squad of, I don't know what they have now, 18 plus 3 or 4, so maybe 22. Do you make it a point for everybody to get at least a minute on the field to get their Olympic moment, or is it all just focus winning this, that?
All focus on winning. If we're up substantially, I do my best to get more on and rotate more. Like, even Chile, I know it was nervy, like you said, but I would have got a few more on. It's a chance. I would have got Desiree Scott out, just to save her legs, being one of the older players. So, but I don't think you can do that if you have aspirations to actually win a medal. But also, same thing to your point, to contradict myself, if you're losing 3-0 in a quarters or something, put some of them on.
Yeah, you have to give them their moment. That's, I don't know, maybe that's just the dad too talking. Like, I'm just kind of, if that was my son or daughter at the Olympics and they go and they're so excited, and then all of a sudden they come home and they're like, yeah, that's fun. Eh? Like, it's like, it's still great to go and everything, but you want to play, you want to get on the field at least.
For sure. Anyway. All right, let's see how they do.
All righty. Canada women's national team at the Olympics. We are tacking this show onto our previous 2. So we're going to do the whole group stage kind of all in one. So you guys don't have to listen to 47 different shows. As you can see right now, Vanessa Gilles played. So Steve is beaming. His shirt is not even red. It's just excitement of like sunshine. And I didn't even do this on purpose, but I am wearing, in honor of Vanessa Gilles, my Louis Riel Rebel shirt. So anyway,
and Joey Fournier, our buddy at the show.
Yeah, this could easily turn into like 74 minutes of Vanessa Gilles. So we're gonna try and stay clear of that. But I have a bit of a bone to pick first.
Yes.
And I'm gonna rant a bit, and then I'm gonna let Steve go off on this.
You'll love it.
I watched this game, obviously, and the first half. Well, first, let's preface this with both teams made quite a few changes. There's, I don't know, 6 or 7 changes Canada made. Anyway, what I didn't like was, and I'll say it now, is the Canadian commentators. And I don't like knocking commentators and color commentators, but this bothered me. You're a Canadian commentator commenting on a Canadian team at the Olympics for Canada. Now, being honest, that scared the crap out of me. Being honest is good. If somebody's underperforming, say it. I don't mind that. I'm happy to do that because we do it on this show.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a few points that I'm going to bring up that I heard that really, frankly, pissed me off about this.
I love Mad Mark.
Well, it's silly. Canadian commentators, Evelyn Viens gets her third start ever for Canada. She didn't play all that great, but for one of the commentators to say that, yeah, Evelyn, when she got subbed out, she is not good enough to play at this level. That was verbatim what was said. She's not good enough to play at this level. That, to me, is unacceptable. Evelyn Viens has played in Ligue 1 Féminin in Europe, scored 11 goals in 14 games, scored against PSG, scored 2 against Bordeaux. What level are we talking about here? You have a bad game. You're allowed to have a bad game and play poorly. Didn't she score against Wales in the pre-Olympic games as well?
She did, yeah. You
have an Olympic coach in Bev Priestman, who's one of the best international coaches, picking her.
Over Huitema.
Yeah, over Huitema, yeah. But not good enough at this level.
Yeah, that's a bad comment. I'm with you, man.
Stupid comment. And the other comment, Steve, I don't know if you hit this because you might be in this, but she's telling us Vanessa Gilles doesn't know how to tackle.
I didn't hear that.
Vanessa Gilles went in from, the opposition player was facing the wrong way. The ball got away from her. Vanessa Gilles slid in, won the ball completely, and her momentum took her barely into the back of the heels. You can't do that. If you're sliding at someone from behind, you're either don't know your timing's off, or you're a poor tackler or something. It was just, she went off on it like 3 times. And I'm thinking to myself, Vanessa Gilles is the best tackler on the Olympic team, potentially in the Olympics. She won the ball. The ref didn't call a foul. So why are you calling a foul? Why are you? I don't understand. It was a very strange feeling watching Canadian commentators kind of slate these play. It was really strange. Not only that, we're winning at the, with Great Britain. We're winning one. I don't know, stupid. But anyway, I needed to get that off my chest because I was laying on my couch at like 7 a.m. just angry and sweating.
I love angry, Mark. I love picturing you on your couch getting angry and like your hat falling off like you used to when you coached all the time, like just trickle down your face. Bang on with Evelyn Viens. Like, yeah, maybe she had a bad game. She's good enough. It's clear. And she was good enough to be in the first 18, not one of the spares. She was good enough to be in over Huitema and others. She's good enough to start over others. When we look at our comments and we look at other comments online from fans, a lot of people are clamoring for her to start. So I don't think it's a matter of her not being good enough. I think that's a poor comment. The Vanessa Gilles one, I'm just like such a Vanessa fan, and obviously you are, and it's a bad comment. Maybe she wants to say it's a bad tackle from behind or something, but she's clearly not someone who doesn't know how to tackle. Like that's like almost one of the weirdest, dumbest things I've heard ever. I don't even want to go on further than that, but it did feel a bit weird. She did seem to say like, it felt like she was negative towards Canada, and even though it was a draw and we were winning, I felt positive after it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we made like 6 or 7 changes. Great Britain made changes too, but they've also got like 1,700 countries in Great Britain morphed together. So their depth is supposed to be way better than ours. Yeah. I mean, you're playing against Nikita Paris, Weir, Millie Bright. Like these are world-class players at this point. And we're still, I don't know.
I think it was very underwhelming to Canada when it shouldn't have been. I thought, let's wrap it up. A win and 2 draws in what I would consider the group of death. I thought it was a good performance. I don't think it was a great performance. I think it was a good performance. I thought very unlucky not to see it through. At the same time, Carolyn Weir's shot off the crossbar and post was lucky not to go in as well, so potentially deserved. The draw was maybe a fair result. I actually thought Bev Priestman did well rotating. My first impression was, I think she set herself up nicely for the groups or for the qualifying rounds. She, rested Sinclair, just sat her in the stands with Scott. Sophie Schmidt came in as a veteran and did her job. She got Becky off. She got Zadorsky rest. She got all these people in. She gave solid players like Jill's minutes. She got Gabby Carl in. Like Leon came in, scored. Now she's going to be, she should have confidence coming off the bench. I thought well done from squad management. I'd give her like an A. I just think they're probably as in a good of a place as they can be.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. And I was happy with it. It was fun to watch. I enjoyed it a lot. And I mean, Leon came in, she scored her goal, but which is great, which is what Canada needs. But I really like, and we've talked about her in the past, where she's just like a firefly. She's like almost like an energetic, playing with her must be like, when you play with someone that just invigorates you.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel when she's it's like she's dying for a throw in. She'll dive in front of her face to save a throw in 80 yards in their attacking. It's just,
I love that you said that, invigorates. Like all I thought of when you said that word is like, yeah, I love those players, and I just go with them, and something happens where I get on the ball as a result. So like she is one of those players for sure.
Yeah, and I'm super happy to see Labe back. And healthy, and she
unlucky on the goal. Really unlucky. I felt for her.
Oh man, 2 late goals in the group stage. Like, those 2 late goals don't go in. We're 3-0.
Not gonna lie, I'll just call myself out. Screaming on the couch, how the hell can you let that in? It was so slow. Didn't see the deflection. Angry. I'm like, drop her. She's still hurt. I was so angry. I thought, because the way she went back, it was like almost a bit slow-mo. I get why in the replay.
Yeah,
I was just
I love that.
her.
That's why, as fans, it's so important for us to watch games by ourselves.
Yeah.
Because you embarrass, how many times I'm embarrassed with myself yelling at the TV when I see that, and then you see the replay and you're like, okay, well, never mind.
Yeah, you would have been commenting on my comments as the announcer, like slating Labe and being like, it was an obvious deflection. And my commentary would have been like, that's just, you suck. Oh, never mind. Like it would have been just like that.
Yeah, exactly. So no, that was good. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say. I mean, Riviere, I thought, was great at the back. She's solidified that right back spot for herself. I think Chapman may be the one that misses out now I agree. It's like, I'll just say it exactly to you. I saw Lawrence on the left again today. I'm like, and then she drives forward and sets up the goal. I was like, I knew it all along.
Great ball. Yeah, great ball. It made me think more and more, though, about your 3-5-2. Like we talked about, you can't change it probably at this stage, but it made me think, oof, I could be the best formation. You might, I don't know. It could really work out. I'd love to see her experiment with it after the Olympics, although the squad could change if some of these older players retire. But Lawrence is quality. And I would agree with the announcer that when she said, I'd like to see her in center mid, I would too, just to give us a bit of a thrust. We don't have someone doing that in there. And I would love to see Lawrence do it.
Yeah, they gave Becky the start at I guess the top of the diamond in the middle. Although, and I'll contradict myself, the commentator did say something very, very insightful, which I followed after that, where the way we talked about Priestman playing with the 2 wingers pushing up and then the striker dropping deep. She did say that's not Vienne's strength. Her strength is like Robbie Fowler.
Yeah, she's a
like Inzaghi or Fox in the box, just like
Fox in the box.
And having her drop deep is not where she wants to be or not where she belongs. But also, it takes that space away from that 10 from the Becky. Like they're kind of on top of each other at this point, and it's weird. And you took Becky off, brought Fleming in, and the same thing happened.
Yeah, it was tactically, it didn't work with those pieces. She managed her squad well, but it didn't flow nicely.
Yeah.
And am I the only one? Like, people can criticize me like you criticize the announcer here, but is it just that I expect so much from Fleming that I'm still underwhelmed and not, like I feel like she's like one of the kids I have in my U11 who's I know is my best player. I know is my most talented player, but he's little and he just doesn't affect games when we go play like a monster team with all these massive guys at U11. But I know he's probably my best player, but then in the game you don't see it. Like I feel like that's what I'm watching with her lately. I don't know. Maybe I'm on a kick with it now that I can't get it out of my mind, but I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I think we're the same. I think we're now like whenever she's on the field, it's like I'm going over her performance with like a fine tooth comb
Maybe too
because
much.
I'm just like, but I think it's a mishmash of everything. I think she needs to find. I think she needs a manager to find where she fits best.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not as an attacking midfield. Maybe it's not as a holding. Maybe it's a right back. Maybe it's a winger. I don't know. I don't know. Somebody needs to jig
What
her
about
around.
what did you think about Haitama? I also was very underwhelmed.
That's funny you say that. Like I was going to bring that up afterwards. If Haitama's best position is a front player, play her there because you're not doing her justice. It's unfair to her. That's like playing, Sophie Schmidt at left back.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I don't know. Either play Haitama where she belongs or don't play her. That's kind of where I'm at now.
I'm the same. I'd rather see. I don't know. I'd rather see something else because she's underwhelmed me, and I guess maybe why it bugs me more again with her, it's the same thing. Like I've seen her in the past where I've been excited and been like, yes, and I don't know. I feel like she's just her and Fleming are underwhelming for me, and it makes me wonder like maybe drop Fleming and put Lawrence in there and play Chapman and Riviere left and right back. Would you get some more drive like the run she made down the line and into the box as a late center mid? Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean,
All that to say, though, they're doing well, and overall, it's very positive, and I'm happy with where they're at. And I think Priestman's working through all this, and I think she's done a good job with the squad. I think she's managed it well. I'm excited to see them. Do we have an idea of who they play next? Was it Sweden that I heard?
I thought it was either Brazil or the Netherlands. Okay. That's what I thought, but I could be wrong. I'm trying to look here. I don't know if it's updated yet as we're filming this. So
yeah,
I'm not sure, but it's going to be a tough game no matter what at this point. And I like that. And again, going back to Priestman rotating, I like that she just had confidence in it. She's like, you know what? First or second, we're going to rotate and you have to beat the best. So let's do it. How
nice was the goal? Not just the run and the cutback, but the interplay to get out of their end.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm telling you, these women can play. And here's my question. We know the lineup is pretty, like the first 11. I'm sure she'll go back to that, but it's hard for us so I'll switch it. Like, does Leon have a shout to start in the important games after something like that?
I don't think so, but I don't think it's like, oh my God, you can't even consider it. I like what they did early with those three up front. And I actually think until Sinclair goes, she might not get in as a starter. Like she'll just continue to be this Firefly sub.
Yeah.
And to be fair, like actually, even if Sinclair goes, it's probably Viens and Haitama looking in that role. So
yeah. No, it's so hard to drop Jill after that. Like it's almost bad that Priestman played her because now everyone can see like I don't know. We've done it enough, but it's so crazy to me that you wouldn't have gone with three at the back. But anyway,
here's another one. Even if you don't go three at the back, do you push Buchanan?
Up into the midfield?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see why not.
What if you drop Scott and put Buchanan as holding?
Yeah, these are all things that I would have loved to have seen in the pre-Olympic game.
Yeah.
Like I know, but contradict myself. You have to do what you're trying to do. But it's like, I don't know. There's so many things.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see her screening in front and then she could be a destroyer in that midfield.
Yeah, this is like championship manager to us.
So right like championship manager.
Like moving everyone. Like we're going into like the biggest knockout game and we're changing 7 positions.
What about Labe up front? Because we saw her shoot one time in pre-game and it was
exactly.
But no, you got to go with she'll go with her 11. She should. She'll live and die with it. I'd be surprised if any of those teams hammered us. I think that would be a real big step back. I think if we lose, it'll be disappointing, but the three teams we just mentioned, Sweden, Holland, or Brazil, are all quality.
Yeah.
But I would expect we're in there, and we have a shout. I don't know what it is with Brazil. It seems like Brazil have given us more problems, like where we do lose 2 or 3-0 and stuff, like as opposed to some of the others. So
well, I mean, looking at some of the Netherlands scores, they're winning like 12-2 and like 10-1. I'm like, holy.
That Miedma, the one from Arsenal, is so good.
It's insane. So I guess it's right to the quarterfinals for all these teams. So essentially, this is the game. You want to win this quarterfinal because then you have a shot to get in the gold and then a shot at the bronze. So you get like, you just need to win this next game, and then it's like 2 medal attempts.
Yeah, at least you get 2 shots at it. Yeah, that's right. This is it.
Oh man, when is it? I better not be at the cottage. I went to so for those of you who don't care, because you all don't, but I'm going to a cottage on Thursday, and I'm like buying up data so I can watch the men's game Thursday, and then whenever the women's game is, my kids could be sailing away in the canoe with the current, and I'm just not going to care at this point. We're watching Canada, those 2 games. So I'm excited.
Yeah,
and,
can't wait.
This quarterfinal is it's a cup final. This one.
Yep.
Tune in, set your PVRs. You know, Vanessa Gilles, we love you. Ottawa's super proud. And, you know, let's get her in 89th minute in the quarterfinal to score a header off a set piece.
Oh my God.
How good would that be?
Oh, it'd be so good.
Yeah.
So good.
All right.
All right.
All righty. Well, go Canada.